The Pretenders, Learning to Crawl. Pitchfork gave it an 8.7. It was their Sunday review, and they said, today we look back at Chrissy Hyndes' 1984 reinvention of her band, an album born of tragedy, chaos and joy that becomes a no-holds-barred emotional roller coaster. Yeah, I've always liked the idea of the Pretenders more than I actually like the Pretenders. I mean, Chrissy Hyndes, fantastic voice and a bit different. And I really like the Sex Pistols story that, you know, she wanted to go a more melodic way when all the punk was going on around her, but she was still part of the scene. So yeah, I like her as a person, but the track one, Middle of the Road, was sort of where I thought their music was. But I knew that song and I've forgotten how good it was. It was a really, really good song. And it's probably a bridge, this album, towards Get Close, which is when they went poppy and they just sort of hit my childhood, and they were a pop band rather than I guess a more credible band that they obviously are on this album. Yeah, we know Back in the Chain Gang, track 2, never been a huge fan, but again, I didn't think I was. What a great song to hear again. Just the right moment for nostalgia. It must have been 20 years since I heard that song. And it's just not one that's played very often, but it should be. It's better than Don't Get Me Wrong, which just gets on my nerves, frankly. But yeah, I've underestimated the Pretenders, and I apologise up until this stage of my life. And then it sort of drops off. You're sort of in forgettable enough, pleasant enough album tracks. You know, Thumbelina's got a nice country rock to it. There's the funkier sound of My City Was Gone, which is all decent. Cover of Thin Line, it was awful. Yeah, really didn't like that. And it's nice to hear this last track when it's not Christmas, because it just sort of gets a lot onto Christmas compilations. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and my respect has grown an awful lot for the Pretenders after listening to that. I might give the first 2 albums a listen, because yeah, they're a lot better than I thought they were. That's what a later pop part of your career does for you, I suppose. But hey, they made some money, I hope. 8 out of 10.